Near half of all apprentices in this country never finish. Not because they weren't capable, not because the trade was wrong for them, because nobody told them what was actually coming. Today I'm covering the real reasons most apprenticeships fail, and exactly what to do so yours isn't one of them. The U.S. Department of Labor has reported that overall apprenticeship completion rates in this country are below 35%. That means fewer than 1 in 3 apprentices who start actually finish. Nearly half leave before completing their second year. I've been in and around the trades for 30 years. I've watched people walk into apprenticeships with genuine potential and real drive, and I've watched some of them quit before they ever got to the good part. The reasons they quit are almost never about skill. They're about expectations, about isolation, about not having anyone honest enough to tell them what they are actually walking into. Today I'm being that person for you. Before we get started, smash that like button, subscribe. All right, let's get into it. Reason number 1, the reality doesn't match the expectation. So here's the single most documented reason apprentices quit. Mismatched expectations. What people thought the job would be versus what it actually is. Most people enter an apprenticeship with a mental image built from 3 places: YouTube videos, social media content, recruiting materials. They see the finished product, the custom trim work, the completed electrical panel, the commissioned HVAC system running perfectly. What they don't see is what the year 1 actually looks like. Sweeping, running to the supply house, holding the flashlight, carrying material, getting corrected constantly by people who seem impatient. That's the job in year 1, and nobody prepares them for it. Here's how to avoid this one. Before you sign anything, talk to someone currently in year 2 or 3 of the same apprenticeship. Not a recruiter, not a YouTube channel, a real person in the real program. One who will tell you honestly what your first year looks like on the ground. That conversation is worth more than any amount of research online. Hey, pause real quick. Before you go all in on a trade, let me save you from making the mistake I see all the time, picking the wrong one. Course Careers has an AI career counselor named Coura, and she's built specifically for this. You tell her about your goals, your lifestyle, how you like to work, and she'll map you to the right fit. Whether that's HVAC, plumbing, electrical, construction project managing, construction estimating, architectural drafting, or supply chain coordinator. Then she hands you a free intro course so you can test drive the career before you spend a dime on training. Students have used this to break into high-paying careers in as little as 4 to 12 weeks. No degree, no experience required. Link is in the description and pinned in the comments below. Don't pick a trade blind. Use the tool. Reason 2, the financial strain hits faster than expected. Here's one that doesn't get talked about nearly enough. Apprentice wages are real wages, but they are entry-level wages. In most programs, first-year apprentices start at 40 to 50% of journeyman scale. That's often $15 to $20 an hour. For someone who came from a job paying $18 to $20 an hour, this is a genuine shock. They expected a raise by entering the trades. Instead, they took a pay cut. Add the cost to required tools, safety boots, work clothes, and transportation to job sites, often far from home. And the financial picture in year 1 can be genuinely tight. Research on apprenticeship dropout specifically identifies financial strain as a major reason people leave early. Here's what that looks like in practice. A motivated person enters an apprenticeship with real intention. 3 months in, they're struggling to cover rent. A friend offers them $22 an hour with no formal training required. They take it, not because the trade was wrong for them, but because nobody built a realistic financial plan for year 1 before they signed up. Here's how to avoid this one. Before you start, build a real budget around your actual first-year wage, not the journeyman wage, not the wage you'll earn in 4 years, the specific dollar amount you will actually take home in month 1. If there's a gap, figure out how to close it before you start, not after the financial pressure is already making the decision for you. Reason 3, nobody told them the humbling period is universal. Here's the one that costs this industry some of the most capable people. The first 1 to 2 years of any trade apprenticeship are generally humbling. You are the bottom of the crew that has been doing this for decades. You'll be corrected constantly. You'll be given tasks that feel beneath your capability. You will watch experienced people solve in minutes what would take you hours. And if nobody tells you that this is completely normal, you start to misread it. You start to think it means you made the wrong choice. Research on apprenticeship dropout found that many people leave not because they lacked ability, but because they misread the humbling period as a sign they didn't belong. They assumed silence from a journeyman meant they were failing. They assumed the impatience of a foreman meant they weren't cut out for the work. They assumed everyone else had figured it out faster. None of that was true. Here's how to avoid this one. Understand before day one that the humbling period is not personal. It's not a performance review. It's the rite of passage. Every single person who built a career in this trade went through it. The ones who stayed and got to the other side are the ones still here. The humbling period is temporary. The credentials at the end of it last your entire career. Reason 4, they ended up with the wrong company. Here's one that the industry doesn't talk about honestly enough. Not all apprenticeship placements are created equal. Research from 2026 on why apprentices quit found something important. When a company keeps losing apprentices, the problem usually isn't the apprentice, it's the company. There's a real difference between a company with high standards and a neglectful one. A company with high standards teaches deliberately. It corrects clearly. It expects growth and shows you what that looks like. A neglectful company gives poor direction, shows constant impatience, provides no consistent feedback. Then when the apprentice struggles, the company concludes they weren't cut out for it. What actually happened is the company failed to develop them. Here's what this looks like on the ground. An apprentice placed with a company where nobody takes time to explain why things are done a certain way, where correction comes as frustration rather than instruction, where they spend months doing grunt work with no sense of whether they're actually progressing. That environment produces dropouts, regardless of how capable the apprentice actually is. Here's how to avoid this one. Before you commit to a placement, ask specific questions. How many apprentices have completed the program in the last 3 years? What does the mentorship structure actually look like day to day? Who specifically will be responsible for your development on the job? The answers to those questions will tell you more about your odds of finishing than anything else. So real quick, I want to talk about something that paid for itself faster than I expected. My brother Shane put together this program called the Content Growth Engine. Now I know what you're thinking. Of course you're going to say it's good. He's your brother. Fair. But I legit paid to join out of my own pocket because I wanted to find out for myself. And it paid for itself fast. First month in, I had a $214 day. Month 4, I'm hitting $445 days. Month 5, $519 days. And it just keeps building from there. And I'm not grinding for it either. Less than 4 hours a week. No marketing background, no tech stuff. Just a system that works and actually makes sense. If that sounds like something you've been looking for, the link is in the description and pinned in the comments below. Go check it out. Reason 5, isolation they weren't prepared for. Here's the last reason, and it's the one I think matters most right now. Trade work can be isolating in ways that people from outside the industry don't anticipate. Long days on job sites far from home. Working in environments where asking for help carries a stigma. Research from 2025 on mental health in the trades found something striking. 50% of tradespeople don't talk to anyone about what they're going through. Not friends, not family, not colleagues, not professionals. That isolation compounds everything else on this list. The financial stress gets heavier when they're carrying it alone. The humbling period gets darker when they don't have anyone to normalize it for you. The wrong company situation becomes unbearable when there's no one to tell. Here's how to avoid this one. Build your support network before you need it. Identify one person who has been through this trade. A mentor, a friend who's further along, a family member who gets it. Someone you can talk to honestly when the hard part hits, because the hard part will hit. Having one person who can tell you it's temporary is sometimes the difference between staying and walking away. The trades need people who can do this work. Don't let the isolation be the reason you become a statistic in the dropout data. Quick break here. If you're sitting here wondering which trade is actually right for you specifically, I built a free 5-minute tool that walks you through it. Link is in the description and pinned in the comments. Look, nearly half of all apprentices who start never finish, but the reasons they quit are almost never about capability. Mismatched expectations, financial strain nobody planned for, a humbling period they didn't know was universal, the wrong company, isolation they weren't prepared for. Every single one of those is avoidable with the right preparation and the right support. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Drop a comment. Are you in apprenticeship right now? I want to hear where you're at. I read every single one. Catch you in the next video. Peace out.
If you need to learn a trade, go to Jack of all trades.